I just moved to a new country. It's kind of crazy, but I arrived in the UK last week. And so figured it'd be fun to talk about all of the transitions that come with moving, especially moving to a new country, as a lot of people pick up their lives and completely change the scenario that they're going to be in. Um, but yeah, it's really fun because I just arrived into Oxford a couple days ago. And so kind of going through the whole process of setting up my life here now and the changes that come with that. It's really nice because honestly, it's such a life change that it's exciting. It brings a whole new area to walk around and try stuff out. There's lots of new restaurants and things like that. And especially since I grew up in like a smaller town city back in the US, that Oxford just has so much more going on than what I'm used to, even if it's not London or Manchester, some of like the much larger cities. But there's just so much more new stuff to try out. So like I spent so much time in the first part just getting here, making sure all like the flights and things like that, visas are in order, and then obviously packing up your life back wherever you're leaving from. You spend so much mental effort, I think, planning for that you're just trying to arrive somewhere. It's not like you have a whole lot of, I guess, space or clarity to look or plan for things in the future, because you kind of just have to wait until you're actually there to experience it. But then once you are, it's like this wave of information just hits you. You have so many things and so many tasks to do right now, and each one kind of piles onto each other as well, where you're trying to get one thing done, but because it's not done, it's impacting the next thing. And all those things can just be very difficult to track mentally and also just keep tabs on realistically. If you're trying to reach out to different contractors or companies and things like that to get things done and set up in your new place, I just think about any new apartment, you're going to have utilities, you're going to have water, gas, internet is going to be a big one. And then of course, working with like your landlord and things like that to get all settled in. So there's already a lot of things just on the living perspective. And then if you move to a new country, most likely your things and your personal items are not there either. So you have to essentially walk into an empty apartment and now figure out what you're going to do from a living perspective. Pots and pans, food, living stuff, bathroom items, all that stuff can just be so much to think about. So that's where I'm at right now, actually. I've started the process for getting a lot of my accounts and things signed up. Just signed up for internet this next week, so hopefully that'll be a nice change of pace, especially using Wi-Fi from various cafes and things like that. So just having some of those day-to-day items already settled in to where you can get into like a routine is probably going to be the biggest change. Right now, it's just trying to figure it out day by day. And once those things are set up, it'll make it a lot easier. I think it is a good idea to at least talk about some of the things that you can do to make the transition to a new place easier, especially financially. The big one for me right now is finding a car. The UK drives on the other side of the road from the US, so cars are all different, and also there's just a different market for buying and selling cars. So that's probably like the largest ticket item right now that I'm trying to figure out. There's a decent used market, but unfortunately with that, you have to have some type of a mechanic background as well, because you never know if you're going to buy like a junker car that's going to break on you in the next week or two, or if you're paying way more for something, or if something's actually a good deal. So if you've got a mechanic background or somebody who does, this is a place where you can save a lot of money just from buying from a private seller versus buying from a company. Could be up to like a few £1,000s or US dollars. The only downside with this is most companies are going to give you some type of like a limited warranty, whether it's 30 days or 60 days. And then they'll also probably help you service it if something were to go wrong. So there are some niceties with going with like a full company when purchasing a car, but you have to make that trade-off with spending the extra money. If you have no experience, it probably is worth it to just go to somebody that you feel like you can trust and talk with, and then would have a little bit more standing than just a private seller. The other one that I'm constantly telling myself right now is that I don't have to have my furniture or my apartment set up immediately. It's kind of difficult because obviously you want to make use of the space and you kind of want to have it designed the way you envision it right now. But those things are going to take time. And unless you go out and order stuff from a store and have it delivered to your door, it's going to be difficult just to, one, get it to your apartment. If you're going to carry it or pick it up from somewhere, all those things just become logistically difficult. And so giving yourself a little bit of time to get stuff figured out is probably good. And also just giving yourself time to relax. Obviously reminding yourself that you just moved to a whole new country and giving yourself that space to figure things out and not have an expectation that you're going to be in your normal day-to-day life right away. And furniture for me is just a big one. The nice part is that Oxford, being a university school campus or city, has a lot of people moving in and out. And so there's constantly stuff getting listed on Facebook, which for me is one of the best places to find used stuff. Facebook Marketplace, you can search in your local area. Usually you can limit it for distance as well. So if you can only walk somewhere, you can really shrink it down. Or if you have a car, you can drive a little bit further. But people will put stuff out there all the time, stuff that's basically brand new for half off. And you can save a lot there if you're okay with something used. Obviously, I think you have to decide what stuff is worth getting new. For me, I'll get a lot of kind of structural furniture on Facebook Marketplace, things that's like made out of wood or dressers and things like that. And then I'll just go and purchase like a mattress brand new. And so it's kind of a balance between what's new and what's used. So yeah, that's my experience as I've been moved to Oxford. It has been absolutely a whirlwind of change, but it's really fun change. It's really exciting. There's lots of things to do and new places to explore, people to meet and restaurants to try out. And so I think taking all the things that can come with it, the complexities, and seeing that as like part of a good thing is the best way to remind yourself that like, I'm doing this for a good reason. It just helps give you that why. And so it can give you that little bit of energy you need to keep going to get those things all planned out. And I guess keep moving forward. Like I said, there's just so many things, so many tasks to get done that it can feel really overwhelming. And if you have somebody to talk through it with, like a friend in the area or somebody who moves quite a bit, or just somebody to vent to, I think those are important things to get out of your head and just speak through. It can make it a lot easier. And that's going to be the basics of my move to Oxford. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to come. There's still more changes to go through and things to get set up. So I'll make sure to keep making more videos as they come through.